And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads are back up and open. Either message or email me directly. Link is on main, and we can set that up, okay? So, Taurus, what are we looking at in this round of reads? This is going to be your career read for the month of July. Career, I'm defining here as being not simply the labor that we output, like a job or a contract, but multiple contracts, partnerships, opportunities, ventures, the things that we invest ourselves into, what do we get back in return? And it could be coin, but it could also be more. So as a preamble to the read, Taurus, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, even if it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you or mislead you. Trust me, I got 12 sides to work with, and none of the time to lie to any of them. Instead, we lay our cards out on the table. And good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we talk about it because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one. Yeah. So following me in your career read today, Taurus. And yeah, let's see what the cards say. We're going to do a past, present, future orientation, starting with the past. That way we can see a clear trajectory. So over here, what are the cards we need to see, please, for Taurus in this read, for the Taurus Collective in this career read today? Okay. In the past, you had the Ace of Cups. What couples with that Ace of Cups? I mean, that's one way to look at it. Five of Wands. And alongside the Five of Wands, the Three of Cups. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes an unhealthy or conflict-driven environment makes you realize who's worth it and what's worth it. I'm saying this because in your past orientation, Taurus, the first card you pulled, the Ace of Cups, Ace is always representing the new, but being that's more your past orientation. Where is my fulfillment here, given the chaos that's starting to swirl, right? That Five of Wands, very indicative of an ongoing problem, one that you try to not just see the upside to anger in, but rather, no, I've established that this is a problem. I did what was right, and through it, I could tell who was for me and who was not. That Three of Cups is not simply representative of like reunion purely for the sake of it. It's the environment in which we are in and who is worth the time that we give it to, right? So yeah, whatever working relationship dynamic you saw while the work site or the workplace was falling apart, you found who was actually had your back and who made you had to have your own, right? So in the present orientation, show us cards what you need to see, please. What of the here and now for Taurus in this read? Cards we need to see, please, for Taurus in this read today. Death, card Scorpio, and what of transformation? That's a very interesting thing. I like that. Okay, we're taking a risk here. The Moon, card Pisces, trying to trust in the unknown. How so? Temperance, card Sagittarius, all majors in your present. Again, whatever conflict was brewing in the past, I think ultimately you came to the conclusion, Taurus, that I'm going to take a leap of faith here. That's not to continue this, it's actually to close out this cycle. Death is not the quote unquote scary card that it is, despite horror media telling you otherwise. Death oftentimes indicates a notion of transformation. Here, death being followed by the Moon, I am going to do something I haven't done before. You know, maybe a job that I've held for a long time or just a really lucrative dealing that kind of fell apart. Either way, I'm going to choose to trust in the unknown and say, hey, Let the universe do its thing. Let time create what it needs to with temperance. Let me temper myself, temper my anger about the situation, temper everything, and call my wins and losses where they are. In the current Taurus, I'm looking at somebody who's accepting, yeah, this was happening. I called it out. I did what I need to, whatever. But it actually pushed me in what I felt was a better direction, prioritizing myself towards the present, where I had to say, maybe my opportunity is actually found elsewhere. And I have to trust in what I don't know rather than just simply what I'm seeing. Okay, so that's an interesting attitude that you take, Taurus, because you're not really known for budging when it comes to, you know, security, financial security and employment. Like that's not really your quote unquote your jam. Okay, I can get that. And in the future orientation, show us the cards that we need to see, please. Taurus in the future. What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Taurus in the future orientation of this week? Moving ahead, what about what could be? Okay, Two of Pentacles. We make it all balance out. Why so? The Six of Cups. Finding a person, a confidant we can trust in what way? The Nine of Pentacles. Oh, okay. And underneath it all, Four of Swords. Surprisingly calm, because again, this is not normally the energy or the way that you operate. I would expect this more something of like a very energetic fire sign, or somebody who is more akin to managing that more chaotic aspects, Taurus. But you're embracing it and you're doing it very fine. What happens in your future orientation from the trajectory that we laid out, right? In your future, I see balance, right? The Two of Pentacles always represented by juggling. Here, you got I think a bean sprout balancing on a walnut on top of a spade shovel. And with that being said, some things go up, some things go down. We keep on trying. We keep on juggling. We keep on trying to make things happen, even as the forces fight against us. Gravity. With that Six of Cups, I don't know who you're trusting in here. I don't just simply read that as a promise to the self. I would have to see more context and like internal thought here. But I generally see that the decision that you make, whatever, as you close this chapter out and move on to the next, there's somebody that you heavily rely on for saying, okay, we're here now and I gotta build, do what I got to every day, putting myself out there, seeing what's necessary. So you're in the activation mode of doing, and whoever this person is to you kind of gives you the shove in the right direction and also helps you out in a way until you get there. Of this, the Four of Swords underneath it all, you're surprisingly calm about it. Right, which again, if I ever said, "Hey, Taurus, there's a question mark about the money," that's almost the Earth signs are not really known for that. But in this scenario, because of everything that happened back here, I think this has been a long time coming. Right, you saw the chaos, you saw everything that happened, and now you're just in a present moment of accepting, like radically being here and now. What is my choice? Right, how will I close this out? Right, because believe me, you are closing this out. That much is very much obvious. Okay, and now that we got this trajectory on the board, show us what lies between. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. The connective energies between all time-based orientations for Taurus in this reading. What's held between the past and the present, the what was and the what is. Ten of Cups. Harmonizing with the situation and everything that's meant to be right for you here and now in this moment. It's interesting coming from the dynamic that it was, because again, people showed you who they were and who they weren't. So keep that in mind. The next, Eight of Pentacles. Trusting in your mastery, trusting in your craft and your gift, and saying, hey, I know how to call a spade here. I'm not going to try to make it work or try to be the team player. No, I'm just going to say, F it, I'm out. And the Empress, there is so much more of me that I have left to give. Again, I think whatever conflict that was going on in this past dynamic Taurus is actually pushing you in the exact right direction. Initially, it does not feel like it, right? It's like it just gets worse and worse, more and more chaotic. Why am I having to be the glue and the backbone of this team while this just gets worse? Where maybe it's a sign that no, you've outgrown it, right? There's something about this that's trying to move you towards a space of doing beyond what you're normally akin to. Okay. Now, what is held in between these kind of orientations? Show us cards we need to see, please. Between the present and the future orientation. Taurus in this read. What is held between the what is? Ooh, nice, but it didn't fall out, so I can't say. What is held between the what is and the what if? Show us cards we need to see, please. Six of Pentacles. Okay. Making things balance out by putting your everyday efforts forth, just doing what you need to for you, slowly accruing that. How so? Knight of Wands. Believing in this free spirit that, hey, if I took this leap, and there's no going back. So how do I act properly in that energy while I'm still comfortable with it? And the Fool. That was the card that was going to come out earlier. I like that. The Fool. The first of all major arcana, one that indicates the idea of a new beginning, right? In order for the world to change, it must first believe that it can. So we approach it with somewhat recklessness, but also a level of unbridled optimism. What would it take for me to change my own world? Underneath it all, Four of Pentacles. 2 4s, interesting. So holding patterns. This time now recognizing in these transitional periods that I'm having, what is worth holding on to, and by extension, what is worth letting go of. And being comfortable with saying, I'm good with that. I'm good with moving on. That's gotta be the title. I'm good with moving on. Because, yeah, I think it took a very long time for you to get there, Taurus, but this level of calmness and tranquility you're applying here, even when certain things are up in the air, there's just this level of, no, I got this. I can make this happen. I can make this work. This is right for me. Time to do. Time to go for it. Okay? Last, as we move towards resolution, first to find the major arcana, turn across the table in this read. Sorry, it feels like something just flew into my eye. Let's start with death here. Why do we resign ourselves to a force of transformation? Show us cards we need to see, please. We start to define the major arcana and put the word in Taurus's read. Because this is a wholesale transformation. And part of you knows that once you start to accept it, no going back, right? Taurus don't really have to step anything. So in death, the 7 of Wands. Okay, we hope that we're doing it right. We're getting this urge in the present. Well, maybe there's still a level of defensiveness about accepting what this truth is. Although from an ideological standpoint, you can't see anything but that, right? So how do we accept it in stride? We try to prioritize what we originally aimed for. And it wasn't the conflict, even though it showed you what's valuable to you. It was rather, am I going to be able to grow here? For my own career, for my own anything? Is it something worth fighting for? Because if it's not, I cannot stay here. Okay, so now we move towards the moon. Why do we trust in that? Nine of Cups. And again, I knew this were intimately connected. You are not used to trusting in the unknown. I'm looking at a Taurus who is not okay with the idea of just pure uncertainty. But right now, the only way that you see that happening is by doing so, right? So giving the best of yourself to the unknown, to prioritizing what you haven't even seen yet, actually pushes you in the direction you've long felt that you needed. Towards temperance, what does time do when the work is magic? The Wheel of Fortune. And maybe this was the final straw and we were waiting on something to change for a very long time. Maybe so was the universe. Okay? Next to the Empress, High Priestess. You're being called right now as we moved from whatever that conflict was towards the present. You're being called right now with that Empress and High Priestess, like your spiritual self activating and trusting your own instinct. This was right. I need you to move like you know who you are. Okay. Next to the Fool, a new beginning comes from walking away. Sometimes I'm good at my job, right? It only starts when we say, actually, let's put the last sentence, the last exclamation point, and the last period. This chapter is done. Now, how do we move on to the next? In a crossing pattern, the right and better investment, and the Three of Swords. Did it originally turn out exactly how we thought it would? No. It definitely did not, Taurus. But maybe not everything has to go according to plan, right? Being okay with moving on means also accepting possibility, not just predestination. And resolution, so of the pain that it's had, this underlying gear towards what you're experiencing right now, we take action. Good. We refuse to just sit and let everything water by us. But the only way we take action, we primarily are adopting new rules, new attitudes towards it. How do we move forward, and how do we move forward properly? Underneath it all, Five of Wands. Okay. And here, I think it's different from that Five of Wands because I was very much tied to the direct labor, the project, the work site you were at. Here, the Five of Wands connected to these two, we're problematizing everything in our current moment and starting to look at the things that we accepted and the things that we can no longer accept, right? It's not just a monetary shift. It's an attitudinal one as well, and one that you're coming to accept with stride, little by little. So what we're seeing in your read today, Taurus, I'm looking at somebody who, in their past, I don't know what, quote unquote, the straw that broke the camel's back, but there's just so many ongoing things that never got resolved at your former station. That in the present, you're having trouble accepting the transformation, even though you know that's happening. And it's happening by you letting go and trusting in the unknown. You're moving on towards bigger and better things. That is obvious. But it comes with trusting that, hey, it's only going to change if you do. So how do we pursue that properly? How do we move forward with intent? This is what we want to do here. And the heartbreak, yeah, it didn't turn out perfect, but hey, it doesn't have to be. I want to see resilience, and I'm looking at a Taurus who very much can. That's why I got to give you today, Taurus. I hope this conversation helped. And above all, believe. You get there faster when you do. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.